Order in the court. Germany is accused of being solely responsible for the outbreak of World War I. The prosecution will now state their claim. Your Honor, ladies and gentlemen of the jury, it is clear that the defendant was the lone cause of World War I, and I have the evidence to prove it. Please turn your attention to the screen, as I've narrowed down the two things that cement Germany's guilty verdict, starting with the state of the country prior to the war. Kaiser Wilhelm II was the German Kaiser/Emperor from 1888 to 1918 and had a lifelong pursuit of Weltpolitik, which involved making the Germanic Empire a global power through colonial acquisition and naval expansion. One of his first moves in power was to dismiss the Chancellor Otto von Bismarck, who had been attempting to unite the Germanic Empire under Prussian leadership for the past 30 years. Bismarck was dismissed due to disagreements on the direction of the Germanic Empire. Bismarck had been strategically isolating France through a reassurance treaty with Russia, ensuring their neutrality to protect Germany from a war on both fronts, and thankfully Kaiser Wilhelm kept up the treaty, so they would never have to fight a war like that. Wait, what do you mean they didn't keep up the treaty? What do you mean Russia allied with France 4 years after the treaty dissolved? But back to Wilhelm's policies, which did end up leading to a boom in Germany's economy, though the growth in Germany's military led to growing mistrust and unease in Europe, setting the groundwork for different alliances to form later on. The naval expansion prompted a naval arms race with Britain, who had a policy where the Royal Navy had to be as large as the two next largest navies combined. This arms race left a great tension between the two nations leading up to the war. While speaking of the war, let's move to point 2. Germany's involvement and worsening of the July crisis proves their sole responsibility for World War I. On the 5th of July 1914, the German government sent Austria the blank check, giving them unwavering support. This support gave Austria-Hungary the confidence to give Serbia an intentionally severe list of demands, which escalated the already out-of-hand July crisis. The blank check was a major miscalculation by the Germans, as it failed to deter the Russians from siding with Serbia and did not isolate the conflict. Germany further escalated the crisis by declaring war on Russia when they refused to demobilize their armies. This placed them in a precarious position, as they were wedged between Russia and France, Russia's new ally. On the 3rd of August 1914, surrounded on both sides, Germany executed the Schlieffen Plan, cutting through neutral Belgium to defeat French forces. The unwarranted invasion of Belgium forced the hand of the British Empire to declare war against Germany, defending the neutrality of Belgium. The July crisis is widely considered to be the event or series of events that kicked off World War I, and Germany's role in escalating it by drawing in uninvolved nations like Belgium, France, and Britain places the responsibility of beginning World War I solely on Germany. Though, Your Honor, if that's not enough, I present to you the Treaty of Versailles, with signatures of Hermann Müller and Johannes Bell, the representatives of Germany. I rest my case. Thank you, prosecution. Now how does the defendant plead? Not guilty, Your Honor. In my defense, I would like to turn your attention to the screen. In May 1911, the Serbian nationalist group Black Hand was founded. This terrorist organization was government-backed, while holding a strong influence within the government and military. In 1908, the annexing of Bosnia and I can't pronounce that word, by Austria-Hungary created tension with Serbia, who saw themselves as the defenders of the South Slavs. The tension built up over the years and gave the nationalists the courage to take bold action, such as assassinate the heir to the Austro-Hungarian throne, Archduke Ferdinand, and his wife. The government's association with the group led to a worsened reaction by Austria-Hungary. Austria-Hungary gave Serbia a large list of demands, which they accommodated all of, except one, prompting a declaration of war on Serbia by Austria-Hungary. Russia sided with Serbia, and events spiraled from there. Russia, the self-proclaimed protector of the Slavs, worsened the July crisis by mobilizing their armies in support of Serbia. These events show that I was not the only one responsible, but also Russia, Serbia, and Austria-Hungary. Though, I'm not done, Your Honor. I would like to call France to the stand. France, do you recall the events that transpired from 1870 to 1871, also known as the Franco-Prussian War? I'm quite familiar. So you remember when we annexed Alsace-Lorraine, a significant state of yours, and the unfortunate end of the Franco-Prussian War. Later in 1914, your declaration of war on us undoubtedly worsened the July crisis, and, I would say, started the war. We understand that this declaration was to protect your ally Russia, but do you deny that it was also mostly fueled by your desire for revenge? Objection, Your Honor. This is irrelevant. Objection overruled. Germany, you may continue. France, do you deny the fact that your utterly humiliating loss of the Franco-Prussian War had any sway on your declaration of war? Oui, baguette. You bet your German backsides it did. We deserved to win the Franco-Prussian War, and the First World War was all your fault. You deserve to face the repercussion. We've heard enough, France. Take him from the stand. Thank you, Germany. Now we will take a short break to allow the jury to come to a final decision.